Another one comes from a blog that I like called Dispatches from the Culture Wars. You won't be surprised to hear that the Discovery Institute has stuck their nose in this subject.
Okay.
Because the Discovery Institute are the group of California-based loudmouths who constitute just about the entire base of support and funding.
Well, yeah, it's not surprising that they would stick their nose in after they've been rebutted on several occasions with the idea that, well, maybe it would be okay to teach this in another context.
Right, but they seem to have flipped back and forth on this a lot, at least according to this article. First, John West of the Crowther of the Discovery Institute, Robert Crowther, writes something entitled, "Darwinists want to ban intelligent design, not just from science classrooms, but all classrooms." What is it that has these United Americans all upset? Well, the school has the nerve to offer a philosophy, not science, course that encourages students to discuss and debate existing theories, including components of the intelligent design theory, introductory philosophy, Darwin's theory of evolution, and the origins of life according to Greek mythology. The nerve! Okay, so that was their position on January 9th at 11:30. Then, about 16 hours later, Casey Luskin of the Discovery Institute...
Their opinion evolved?
Yes.
Very rapidly, too.
Yeah.
Some sort of mutation going on over there.
Writes something else entitled, "Dogmatic Darwinists Strike Again. Americans United for the Separation of Students in Science." The implication here is obvious as well. If AU is going to be accused of trying to separate students in science by objecting to this class, then the class must be offering legitimate science for students to explore, right? But the problem is that in this post, Luskin admits that the class does not do that. Quote from Luskin, "The course is misnamed. It actually advocates for young Earth creationism and teaches out of the Bible. Such a course would have been more aptly titled something like Philosophy of Origins, but not Philosophy of Design, because intelligent design has nothing to do with young Earth creationism or biblical views."
Suck it up.
Notice that Luskin can't even bring himself to say that young Earth creationism is an explicitly religious position, which everybody knows it is.
Okay.
The third statement, a press release written by Crowther, but based on a letter sent to the El Tejon school board by Luskin, is telling the school that they should change the content of their course or cancel it. Saying...
The Discovery Institute is telling them to cancel the course?
Yes.
Awesome.
Here we go. "We support efforts to teach different scientific views on the subject of origins in an objective and pedagogically appropriate manner, which allows students to study the strengths and weaknesses of various views, but if this course is intended to present purely scientific views on intelligent design, the content needs to be reformulated and the creationist material should be removed. Otherwise, change the title of the course so it does not misrepresent the theory of intelligent design."
What is that?
The final acceptable remedy would be to simply cancel the course.
What is that Remax ad or something? You win when theists fight. It's like
sounds like it.
Oh man.
Another notable element in Luskin's letter, the Dispatches from the Culture Wars blog goes on. It comes from Luskin's letter, quoting, "Moreover, unlike creationism, intelligent design does not try to inject itself into religious discussions about the identity of the intelligence responsible for life. Creationism, in contrast, always postulates a supernatural or divine creator. That's why the U.S. Supreme Court found that creationism was religion in 1987 in the case of Edwards versus Aguilard." Interesting that he would cite that court case, but not the recent Kitzmiller case, which legally said that intelligent design is just as religious as creationism is.
Right. Wow. Cool. Dennis, do you have more?
Yeah, let's see. I got, let's try this one. Judge scolds pastor for bringing lawsuit over anti-gay remark. Wisconsin's largest gay rights group was awarded $87,000 in attorney's fees by a judge who scolded a Louisiana pastor and his lawyer for bringing a frivolous lawsuit claiming the group defamed him. Grant Storms of the Reformer Ministries in Marrero, L.A., Louisiana, claimed in the lawsuit that Action Wisconsin defamed him by saying remarks he made at a 2003 anti-gay conference in Milwaukee advocated the murder of gays. But in a ruling last week, Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Patricia McMahon said the group's interpretation of the remarks was reasonable, and the lawsuit lacked merit from the day it was filed in February 2004. The judge also blasted Storm's lawyer, James Donahue of Milwaukee, saying he should have known the complaint was a waste of time. Storms was one of the several speakers at the International Conference on Homo-Fascism, a gathering of people who railed against gays. In his speech, Storms said gay rights opponents should start taking it to the streets. He mimicked gunfire. Boom, 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 there's 20. Ka-ching, according to a transcript. Storm said,
clear to me.
Yeah. Storm said Wednesday any contention that he was advocating the murder of gays is ludicrous and ridiculous. He called the judge liberal and insane.
Can you sound a little more like Rush Limbaugh? Because that seems very appropriate.
Yes, it does. I was saying the Christian community needs to go forward and stand against the homosexual agenda, he said, vowing to appeal the decision. We'll win this case and I'll win the culture war. We have God on our side.
My friends.
Oh, boy.
I think that there's a comment in there that's very telling, and I'm going to harp on it because it supports something I've been saying for quite some time. The judge criticized the lawyer, not just the
case or the defendant,
not just the not the defendant, the antagonist. What's the other guy? Plaintiff. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Not just the plaintiff for bringing the case, but the lawyer for going along with it.
Right.
Because, in her words, he should have known better. What I've been saying all along is that a huge part of all of this is simply lawyers taking these cases so they get paid.
Right.
They do not care whether the case has merit. They're taking the cases because they get paid.
Yeah.
He lost the case. He still gets paid.
Right.
He gets paid out of the pocket of a minister who presumably gets all his money from crazy, right-wing, insane, anti-gay fundamentalists who will pay him more to keep fighting this case.
Right. Which
will
great.
go into the pocket of the lawyer who will happily keep fighting the case in order to get paid.
Yeah, he's not shelling out the award of $87,000.
No,
not at all.
Not at all. Interesting.
So please, take him to court.
But the whole thing is that this allows them to keep it in the public eye and to keep making false claims about wars against Christianity, which brings in even more money for them, which they don't have to spend on lawsuits.
Which merely turns
these...
It just turns these fundamentalist religious leaders into very wealthy clients for the lawyers willing to take them. And in some cases, those lawyers have formed their own organizations specifically to cater to the crazy right-wing fundamentalist preacher crowd.
And this kind of ties in to the argument we were having earlier about Pat Robertson, because, you know, you've got the two kinds of evil at work. One, the kind of evil that really believes the religious stuff and uses it to make life unpleasant for everybody.
Yeah.
And one where they're evil because they use the religious stuff to fleece people out of their money and cynically manipulate people to enrich and empower themselves.